Hi everyone, it's Miss Kylie back again from 826 New Orleans, Program Director, here to write with you. In my last video, I talked about how we know that writers often use inspiration from their own lives to find things to write about. And so we very simply created a list of people, places, and things that were important to us and something I could go back to and pull from that I could write about. And what was exciting to me was that after I made my video, I heard what would be on other people's lists, and so I saw Miss Sarah's list. Miss Sarah is our development manager, and Miss Sarah had on her list things like her husband, Eric, and ice cream she really loves. I thought that was very sweet. And Miss Brooke, our executive director, on her list, she had her son Juno and 826 New Orleans, just like me. So it was really nice just to learn about other people and see the things that we have in common. So today what we're going to do is we are going to take something from our list and we are going to write a metaphor poem. All right. So what I want to do is just to remind you of what I had on my list. I'm going to pull it up. And this again is Miss Kylie's list. I have my people, and we said pets are included in that column. The people, places, things. Today I'm going to write a metaphor poem about a person. And the people that I listed in my list are Naomi, my daughter, my sisters. I'm a big sister. These are my two little sisters, Ashley, Haley, Maya Angelou, who was very inspirational to me. And then at the bottom, myself. And I add myself because students in after school often list themselves as important people, and that's true. And again, taking inspiration from our young writers, I think I'm going to write a metaphor poem about myself today. So, first, let's talk about what is a metaphor. Okay. You might have heard of metaphors and similes. Metaphors and similes are comparing two things. A simile compares two things using like or as, but a metaphor does not use like or as. Another way to describe a metaphor is comparing two things by saying they are the same thing. And I found this lovely chart from Evan Moore, their teacher blog. Thank you, Evan Moore, for this beautiful chart. But they have some examples of metaphors here. In the first example, the sun was a gleaming pearl. So the sun is being compared to a pearl. My baby brother is a cute little teddy bear, comparing her brother to a teddy bear. My sister's memory is a camera that remembers everything we see, comparing sister's memory to a camera. The car seat is a fluffy cloud, comparing car seat and a fluffy cloud. And custard is happiness in a bowl. So comparing custard to happiness. Well, that's what we're going to do today. We are going to write metaphors about a person from the list. Now, to start my writing, it's going to help me to organize my thoughts and my ideas. And so all you need is a piece of paper and something to write with. So here, just like last week, I'm going to make a column to help me organize my thoughts. I mean, a table to help me organize my thoughts. And it's going to have three columns in it. Three. All right. I'm going to draw one column, kind of skinny here. Another column, kind of skinny here. And the last column, I need it to be a little bit fat. So I'm gonna leave that wider. And then I'm gonna draw a line across the top so that I have my three columns. Okay, now remember, this is my list of my people, places, and things. And Miss Kylie's writing about herself, myself. So on the top of my column, I'm going to write I am, because this is about me. When you pick your person you're writing about, you want to use whatever pronouns they use. So if the person uses she pronouns, you're going to write she is. If the person uses he pronouns, you're going to use he is. If the person uses they pronouns, you're going to write they are. So whatever your person uses, that's the pronouns that you want to put on the top. Because I'm talking about myself, the pronoun I'm using is I. So I'm going to write I am there. Okay. And in the next column, I'm going to write that's like. And in this column is where I'm going to list the things that I'm comparing myself to. Okay. And in the last column, it says, what does it do? And in that column, I'm just going to use more things to describe the thing in the second column. So now here I am. I'm going to fill out my first column first. And under the I am, I'm going to list just a few adjectives that I think describe me. So I am, well, one thing that people say about me and that I feel about myself is they're like, oh, Miss Kylie's so sweet. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting sweet. I agree. I also think that I'm so sweet. So that's my first one that I'm going to put. And then I'm going to draw a line because it just helps me keep my ideas straight. And the next thing that I'm going to put, you know what? I think that, you guys, I think that I am pretty strong. I think I'm a strong lady. Right? I believe that about myself. All right. And then I'm going to draw a line. Something that I've been feeling a lot these past couple of weeks, guys, honestly, is I'm pretty worried. There's a lot of stuff happening in the world, and it makes me like really worried and nervous and anxious. So that's definitely something that I am right now. And I'll add one more here. Even though I'm worried, I'm still pretty hopeful. Okay, so I have four adjectives that describe me: sweet, strong, worried, hopeful. You can fill your page with as many adjectives as you feel like describe you. I'm gonna start with four, and I can add to it later if I feel like it. But I think four is a good starting point right now. Now I'm gonna move to my next column here, and I'm gonna write things that I would compare myself to. So on my first line, I had sweet. So I'm gonna think of something that's sweet. There are a lot of things that are sweet, but the thing that's really coming to my mind right now is honey. Honey's coming to my mind because it's sweet. It's also kind of like brown, like Miss Kylie. And I like to put honey in lots of things. And what does honey do? Honey, um, I'm going to finish writing this column. Honey makes my tea taste amazing. It's so sweet that it makes tea taste amazing. So that's my first thing. Okay, now let's go to strong. Hmm. There are lots of things that come to mind when I think that something is strong. There are lots of images that can come to mind when I feel like something's strong. But there was one thing that I noticed last week. It was really windy outside. I was sitting on my porch, and I have a lot of trees on the sides of my house. And even though it was like super windy, there was this branch that the wind kept like whipping, and the branch was going back and forth, but it didn't break. And it made me think of when people say you bend and don't break. And so I just thought about like how strong that branch was standing up to the wind. So I'm gonna write branch here because that branch was really strong. And what does it do in the wind? It bends, but doesn't break. Okay, so we got sweet, strong, now worried. Worried. Definitely feeling very worried. Definitely feeling kind of like I'm all over the place a little bit, trying to figure out what the best thing to do is at this time. And so I'm going here and there and all over the place. And so I kind of feel like it reminds me of ants. Like, what if you ever look at an ant hill? It's like they're just running back and forth, back and forth. It seems like they're so nervous, and running around. So ants, and what do the ants do? They run around back and forth. That's kind of how I felt this week and last week and still today. I kind of feel like a bunch of ants. Um, but even though I'm very, very worried, you guys, I still am hopeful that things will turn out okay, even though things are very sad, that things will turn out okay. And when I think of hope, I think of spring, because spring is like a new beginning, when the flowers come out again. It's really beautiful and people like to be outside. And spring always comes after a cold winter. And what does it do? That's why it's like it always shows up after a long cold time, always comes after winter. Wow. So that's my organizer that helps me get all of my thoughts together. Now all I have to do is write my poem. Okay, so I'm gonna have my clean piece of paper. You can just flip your paper over if you want to, or get another piece so that you can look at both pages at the same time. That would be helpful to me. But what I want to do is I want to decide the order that I'm going to list my metaphors, because I listed them this way on my organizer, but I might feel like some are stronger to start with and some are stronger to end with. And so I think that I think I'll still start with sweet, because it was the first thing that came to my mind and it's a nice way to start it. And guys, all I'm gonna do now is really, I'm just gonna copy. I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna copy this. Okay. I might add a little bit to it though. I don't know what the title is yet. So I'm going to just draw a line up here. I know I'm going to write my title later, but again, I'm worried about um, the second column in the third column. And I'm just going to write, I am, let me look again, honey, right? I am the honey. Oh, you know what? I think I want to throw in some adjectives to describe. I am the thick honey. Yes, let's describe that honey a little bit. Thick honey that makes tea taste amazing. Good. Okay. Let me go back to see what I want to pick next. I feel like I want to end with either strong or hopeful. So next I'm gonna go to, I'll do worried. And I'm just worried about that column and this column. Now, because I'm writing about myself, I'm putting I am, but remember you're going to be using the pronouns for the person that you picked. So, okay, I am the ants. Now, remember, I can edit this a little bit. I put that they run around back and forth, but I want a stronger verb. A stronger, because we use run a lot, and that's not the precise word that I want to use. I think the word that I really want to use is like scurry, right? Because they're moving so quickly all over the place. So I am the ants scurrying. That's the word I really want to use. Scurrying back and forth. Excuse my handwriting, you guys. It's hard to write with this little pen. So I am the ants scurrying back and forth. Okay. Now I have to decide, do I want to end with strong or hopeful? And I think I want to end with hopeful. So I'm going to go with strong next. Right. Okay. Here we go. Am the branch in the strong wind that bends but does not break. And now we just have one more to add, and that's our hopeful spring coming after winter. I am the, let me think of a word to describe some, the bright spring. And I really want to stress how important it is that it always comes back. I am the bright spring that always, I'm going to repeat the word always, always, always comes after the cold winter. Now, pretty good. Let me think of a title for my poem. If there's something that's sticking out to me, really, it's the repetition of the words I am. So I think I'm going to keep that by Miss Kylie. Apologize for this handwriting, you guys. I'm trying my best with this pen. Okay, so let me read it. I Am by Miss Kylie. I am the thick honey that makes tea taste amazing. I am the ants scurrying back and forth. I am the branch in the strong wind that bends but does not break. I am the bright spring that always, always comes after the cold winter. I wonder what you are going to write about your person that you've picked from your people, places, and things list, the metaphors that represent them. After you write, I believe that you guys will write some really beautiful metaphor poems. After you write, don't forget to share them with us, please. There are different ways to share. You can email your poem to hello@826neworleans.org, or you can post it on social media and then tag us on Instagram or Facebook at 826 New Orleans. But I think that you guys are going to come up with some beautiful poetry that I hope you share with us, because it is important that we are still writing. Until the next time, be healthy and safe.